got a mean streak in him, and he's not afraid to drop the gloves. He doesn't do it often, but he does have a streak in him. I don't know if I'd want to be taking on Dubois, though. He's a big heavyweight guy. Dubois stripped those gloves off in a hurry. It took Saboro a little longer, but how does Belanger make this save? This is unbelievable. Shot from Chabot. Now everyone's scrambling around the net. It comes open at the side of the net. And this chance simply can't be buried by Del Pagio. Look at Belanger. He's down, he's on his pads, he's tracking, he gets over, and at the last second he throws the glove. Del Pagio cannot believe it, neither can I. An excellent save by Belanger, who's been on fire since the start of this game. He's had to face 12 shots now from the St. John Sea Dogs, and he's stopped them all.
He's been the story of the first period, no question about it. And that is the best of them all. Turcotte had a great save. That one might have topped it.
Oh. Well, we knew there were going to be a lot of chances. I mean, I anticipated a high-scoring affair because of the way these two teams have been playing. And if it worked for the goaltenders, it would be 5-4 right now.
Zboril and Dubois both got 2 minutes for that altercation. 4-on-4 on the ice, so we should expect some more chances. Get ready, Belanger and Turcotte. Clark Bishop, some skating room, and he's got a full head of steam. He stops as he gets down to the hash mark. And Murphy picks off the pass. Knoll ahead to Luke Green. Both defensemen want to get in on this. Only man back. Only 2 men back to the 2 forwards. Now Sloman steps in. He got a wrist shot away, but missed. And then Belanger comes over and grabs that loose puck.
And it was because of McIntyre. He made a good play. It was stick on stick against Smallman. And that's what saved the goal. You see the puck rebound out to the front of the net. Smallman has a golden opportunity.
That was the Turcotte save from earlier on Fiore. Both goalies have been excellent. No goalie stopping the Michael Joly goal that went in just a minute 36 into this one. Goalies have shut the door since. Final 45 seconds of the opening period. Olivier Leblanc passed it to Martineau right in his face with Chabot. Now Thomas Chabot cools things down. Passes over to Matthew Joseph. Here's Highmore. Lots of time here for the Sea Dogs to tie this. Joseph hit hard by Levaye, spins away from that, trying to chase down Martineau. Carranza takes a hit from Chabot. Joseph coming in to help out. Carranza still digging for it. Lazarev gets it down to him. Lazarev heads to the front of the net, but Carranza couldn't get the pass to him. Comes just outside the line. Lazarev controls for Cape Breton. Only 5 seconds to go. He might have to shoot this puck. Gets in over the line. Tried to deke his way through. Oh boy, it got to Svechnikov. And St. John lucky that the buzzer went. Just 1 for Cape Breton in that opening period, but tons of chances.
It was an entertaining period of hockey, Joly, with the difference in this game. And I think we're in for a good, long, fun night for the next 40 minutes.
Maritime's division rivals did not disappoint in that first period. Jeff?
RJ, you nailed it. No disappointment there. That was an exciting 20 minutes of action. Cape Breton takes a 1-0 lead into the first intermission alongside Damien Cox and Todd Warner. A little bit more on Mikel Joly. We saw him last year at the Memorial Cup, certainly. Yeah. He was the big star in that double overtime President's Cup game-winning against Quebec Ramparts for Rimouski, and did not disappoint in that first period.
Well, we know he has great hands, and we know he's got great finishing ability. Since he's come over to this team, he's been on an absolute tear, goal-to-game pace. And on the goal tonight, he gets out on the ice with Maxim Lazarev. They don't normally play together. Lazarev gets in on the forecheck here, frees it up, good stick by Joly, and then Chabot gets caught watching. He takes it to the net, and Corey Hirsch, you like that one? That's a beauty right there. Goes to the backhand out of Peter Forsberg and tucks it in. Corey's in the studio, folks. He's laughing. He doesn't think it's that funny. But look at this play. Brings it across and it puts him to fight and one-handed. That's something I could never do. Great play, Michael Joly.
And he's doing that against an overage goalie, against an excellent defensive pair.
You know, and you know, he's someone that went to Buffalo Sabres camp 2 years ago and the Toronto Maple Leafs camp as well. Joe Veleno is an interesting prospect. He's the QMJHL's first ever player granted exceptional status. He came in as a 15-year-old, as you mentioned, 2 weeks ago, just turned 16.
And it's my first exposure to see him and get a sense of what he's all about. And there's obviously a lot of talent there. He's got good size. And you see in the first period some of the elements that make for an outstanding offensive player, the ability to protect the puck. the ability to make change direction really quickly and set up a teammate for an opportunity. And even if in his own end, you know, the ability to make a smart, short pass and get out of the zone. So those are all things that you want to see. He's a skilled player. It's interesting, you know, he's got 7 goals and 19 assists in 38 games. So how does that compare to the other forwards who have been granted exceptional status previously in the Canadian Hockey League? John Tavares, 45 goals in 65 games. That's remarkable. He was all right.
He's okay.
Connor McDavid, 66 points in 65 games. So Veleno's not going to get anywhere near those numbers. Now, I'm not saying he shouldn't be in the league, but it is interesting. We know what has happened with Sean Day. Things haven't gone as well for him.
You know,
and
in Veleno's defense, though, to cut you off, in Veleno's defense, I mean, he walked into a team. They got that #1 draft pick by way of trade, so he walked into an established. John Tavares had tons of ice time. Connor McDavid walked into a really bad Erie Otters situation. He got tons of ice time as well. Does that mitigate, you know, when you look at the numbers for Joe Veleno?
Probably. I mean,
The verdict's still out for him. You know, like he could go on to have a dynamic career in the queue and do really well. But again, I think you could argue that to be an exceptional player, it needs to be a harder track to get in. Sean Day for me was one that maybe could have gone either way, but it should be much harder to gain exceptional status in my mind.
Right.
But the verdict's still out on this.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like he can play in the queue. I mean, he can play.
And I like him on the wing. I like him on the wing.
Everything you hear from their team, low maintenance, great kid, does all something. So, does he belong? Well, he certainly doesn't not belong.
Yeah, there may be as many as 3 players that apply for exceptional status in the OHL this year. One of them, the son of Todd Bertuzzi, Tag Bertuzzi, although it was told today that may not happen, but we shall see. Talking Evan Fitzpatrick at the Top Prospects game in moments.
Friday Night Hockey on Sportsnet. Brought to you by Boston Pizza. Get ready for game time with over 100 menu items. Order online for delivery. Boston Pizza will make you a fan.
I can read everything above, not just. I can't read what Pizza said in between that. I did say that.
Arctic Spas.
I know, Cam.
Engineered for your family.
I was talking to you. I said Ben doesn't have a PS1. I told him. I know I said a PS1.
Lennox makes the quietest system you can find. So even though it's the most powerful force in your home, it won't sound like it is.
Tim Hortons Dark Roast Coffee. A blend of 100% Arabica beans roasted with care and brewed for a rich, full flavor and smooth finish. With over 150 million cups served, we seem to be onto something. Try it today.
You guys talk to me. So one problem with that.
There's a lot of performance in these tires. These tires are insanely good. Immediately, the Cooper tires set themselves apart. If this is what experts thought about Cooper tires, imagine what you'll have to say. They're impressive on all surfaces. Put Cooper tires on your car today.
No, I know.
The Heart and Stroke Lottery is on, and now with 1 and 2 odds. There are 7 grand prizes, including 2 prizes of $1 million. Imagine the possibilities for you and your family. And every ticket funds life-saving research. Hurry, Heart and Stroke tickets are limited. Order yours today.
Water is the driving force of all nature. It is pure, raw power. Power we need to respect. It has the potential to change lives. Because water can become more, we can turn water into clean energy and use it to power something truly special. You. OPG provides more than half the power Ontario relies on. So please, stay clear, stay safe.
And I said,
Arctic Spas. Engineered for your family.
From the very first time I stepped on the ice, I've always had a passion for hockey. One day my dad said, put the puck through this and you'll get an NHL tryout. So every day I went after it. Every shot chipping away at what stood between me and my goal. to it. Let's just say I wasn't going to let anything stand in my way. I'm Connor McDavid, and I am made of hockey.
Okay. You guys got that.
1-0 Cape Breton here in the first intermission, joined by Corey Hirsch, the aforementioned. Last week, we were busting on Todd about going into the corners. We have a little something special for you coming up in a couple of seconds. But this time next week, the CHL NHL Top Prospects game will be in the books, and one of the players we will be seeing there is a netminder. So for this edition of Between the Pipes, talk to us a little bit about St. John's Newfoundland-born Evan Fitzpatrick of Sherbrooke.
Well, Evan Fitzpatrick is a second-rated goalie in this year's draft. He's going to be at the prospects game this year. Now, when teams are talking about him right now, I talked to one scout, said he's very raw, very athletic. They feel there's a lot that he can do with him. He's 6'4", 205 pounds. Now, as a scout, when you're scouting a goalie, the things you look for are athletic ability, skating ability, leg power, and size. And this kid has all those things. So I could actually see someone stepping up and taking him. He's been that good this year. His numbers aren't great. But like I said, sometimes when you're looking at the draft as a scout, it's not about what is today. It's about what is the future and what can he represent in the future. Similar to what Jake Allen was in the Quebec Hockey League. Yeah. Very raw, very athletic. And when St. Louis drafted him, they drafted him based on athletic ability. And that's what this kid has. So the future bodes well for him.
Such a tough position to predict, and that's why nobody pretty much goes in the first round when it comes to goaltenders. That's now the domain of the second round. But one thing we can be sure of, the era of the small goaltender is over, and Evan Fitzpatrick, 6'4", 206 pounds here, according to NHL Central Scouting. We'll see Carter Hart next week as well from Everett. We'll see Zach Sawchenko as well from Moose Jaw in the top prospect game, and Dylan Wells from the Peterborough Petes in the OHL. He'll be in Vancouver next week as well. I hate to do this to you, but I have a question for you, Corey.
Here we go.
How do you stop this shot? You've had a number of years to think about it and practice it. We saw in the first period. How do you stop this shot? See, the puck's going to squirt out to the point here, right? St. John thinks they have to clear it. Not so fast. Comes to Lazarev. He sends it down to Michael Joly. And oh my goodness. Corey Hirsch, how do you stop that shot?
Well,
Nobody can stop it.
nobody. Here it is, Zach. Here's the problem. It's the defenseman's fault.
You gotta be 6'4". You gotta
It's
be
not
6'4".
the goal. This has nothing to do with the goalie. It's the defenseman's fault. And the coach.
Good answer.
Oh, we even got a photo.
Good answer.
I've seen that picture before.
It's been on a stamp.
You had it. Look, you had it. Where's your left leg? Come on. It's just like 1 inch. It was there. It was there.
Where's your left
Lisa was a
leg?
good player. Lisa was a good player.
It was one of the greatest players that we've seen in the past
You know,
generation.
the worst part about that is I remember coming across, and in my mind, I'm thinking, I've got him.
Yeah.
And then he does that, and I was like, ooh, I guess I don't have it.
It's
And
funny.
then history is made.
5 or 6 years before that, the World Championships, that exact same move done by Kent Nilsson on John Van Beesbroek. So don't think that you were the first person victimized by
Yeah,
it.
well, it's called the Forsberg, not the Nielsen, all right?
Trying to fluff it up here for you, Corey, a little bit.
Got you silver, Todd.
Feature on Pierre-Luc Dubois coming up. 1-0 Cape Breton.
Our Canadian winters mean snow, lots of it.
We can make shoveling all that snow easier with the Heft, one of my all-time favorite products.
Made in Canada, the Heft attaches to virtually any snow shovel handle in seconds, making it easier to shovel snow instantly. Your body stays upright, reducing fatigue and the risk of injury.
Take a load off your back, pick up the Heft.
Just $19.97. Only at Home Hardware and Building Center locations. Homeowners helping homeowners with expert advice.
There's a first time for everything. For new experiences, for new beginnings. And now, a time for getting exactly what you want and more. Like getting behind the wheel of a highly awarded 2016 Kia Sorento or Sportage. Begin the new year right with standard features like heated front seats and heated side mirrors, as well as available Dynamax all-wheel drive. There's never been a better time for a fresh start. Start the new year with a new Kia.
It says that you got the 1.2 liters for
Come on now, all together now. Won't stop. On the road now. Sound off. Fired up. Motivated. Fired up. Dedicated. Motivated. All the way. Whoa. Now double time. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
I had the most incredible dream. We were greeted by princesses and swashbuckling pirates. We escaped to our own island. And we could fly. We met all kinds of wonderful characters. And were guests at a royal banquet. And the best part? It wasn't a dream at all.
Disney Cruise Line, the vacation your whole family has been dreaming about.
Oh, there we go.
You know, we talk so much about second-generation hockey players in junior hockey right now, and Pierre-Luc Dubois' father played in Europe and was drafted as well by the Quebec Nordiques in the NHL. This young man is big, he's strong, he's skilled, he's 6'3", 205 pounds, and you can light matches off of him. Let's learn a little bit more about the prospect who should go in the top 15 of this year's NHL draft.
Pierre-Luc Dubois. I'm from Rimouski, Quebec, and I play for the Cape Breton Screaming Eagles. My favorite player growing up was Henrik Zetterberg.
Since Zetterberg came into the league, nobody has more playoff points in the National Hockey League.
The person who helped me the most was probably my father. He's always been there since day one. Yeah, I was kind of his mascot growing up. Him playing in Germany. It was really fun seeing my father play for a while, and I cherish those memories.
His dad, Eric, is the assistant coach with the Rimouski Oceanic.
I call him after every game. We always have a chat, talk about what happened with me and the team. Last year, I only played one game against them. We beat them, so I had bragging rights for a while. But now this year, they're up 1-0 against us in the series, so I think he has bragging rights now. My mom, pretty sure she cheers for me. Like, she wants my dad to win, of course, but every time we play against me and my dad, it's pretty sure she takes for me. It's a big year for me, but I just want to help my team win every game.
Dubois in the slot. Dubois shoots.
People talking about you, lists coming out, people talking to you about where you're ranked or stuff like that, but I don't put more pressure on myself.
Maybe one of the best lines in the Canadian Hockey League is this line of Dubois, Lazarev, and Svechnikov.
Play with the guys like Svechnikov who went first round. They just told me it only happens once in your life, and just take advantage of everything you have.
It's like he gets better every time we see him. The goal that still gives Corey Hirsch nightmares. Okay, enough on Hirsch, enough on Hirsch. That goal by Michael Jolie. Here comes the second.
I'm not a fan of putting my personal info in these online shopping forms. Hello? I don't have time to be filling out my address. I need to be buying a dress. That's why I use MasterPass. Less typing, more dancing.
¿Cómo te llamas?
Yo soy Camarones. Dip me.
The safer, easier way to shop online. MasterPass from MasterCard in your bank. It's the shortcut to priceless.
There's a first time for everything. For new experiences, for new beginnings. And now, a time for getting exactly what you want and more. Like getting behind the wheel of a highly awarded 2016 Kia Sorento or Sportage. Begin the new year right with standard features like heated front seats and heated side mirrors, as well as available Dynamax all-wheel drive. There's never been a better time for a fresh start. Start the new year with a new Kia.
Since you're a kid, it's been share this, share that. Share, overshare. When does the sharing stop?
How about with the grilled stuffed nacho from Taco Bell? The first nachos designed not to be shared. Wrapped up and ready to go for only $2.99.
Add warmth to your wardrobe during our Winter Wonder event. Right now at Moores, select designer suits are $249.99. Shoes are 30% off. Designer dress shirts are $39.99. Plus buy one, get one free on even more. Moores, tailored for Canada.
January 23rd on Hockey Night in Canada. Leafs Canadiens, an original 6 rivalry renewed, and the first ever 4K NHL broadcast. Get closer to the action. 4 times the resolution of HD. Captivating detail. Dion Phaneuf and Max Pacioretty. Experience what's next. Leafs Canadiens in 4K. Hockey Night in Canada, January 23rd. Tune into Channel 999 on your Rogers Nextbox 4K.
Harbor Station, good spot for a snack to watch this Maritimes Division rivalry from the QMJHL on Friday Night Hockey, and you can toe drag those nachos through the cheese like Michael Joly had that beautiful goal in the opening period. Third straight season with 25 or more goals for Joly. He's got 32 this year, and you know there's more to come. He's standing by with Kyle Bukauskas.
RJ, thank you very much. You said it, Michael. You got this night started off with a bang with your goal. How much confidence are you and this team playing with right now?
I think it's getting pretty high right now. With the it was slow at the start, but it didn't stop me from keeping scoring offensively. And with that offensive Cape Breton, it's a plus for me.
Up until this November, you had spent your entire junior career with the Rimouski Oceanic. You won a championship. You scored the goal in double overtime in Game 7 last year. So what is the transition like now going to a new franchise?
It's different. Well, I think the coach wants to go to the cup, and that's the reason why he brought me here. And I got a lot of experience, like you said.
All right, Michael, appreciate your time. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Michael Joly, 30 points since becoming a member of the Cape Breton Screaming Eagles. RJ Broadhead, Sam Cosentino, the call of the second. Guys?
Yeah, Kyle, it's only been his 19th game as a member of the Screaming Eagles, so he's filling the net, having a chat with Matt Murphy on that face-off. Both of those players competed in the MasterCard Memorial Cup last season.
We'd be sick of one another after that series between Quebec and Rimouski.
They're both hired guns now.
Yeah.
Trades for these respective teams in hopes of making it a playoff run. 4-on-4 on the ice to start the second period here on Friday Night Hockey. Matthew Joseph gets to the middle of the ice and put a puck on goal, and Alexander Belanger caught it.
What's funny, RJ, you talk about both teams and adding that MasterCard Memorial Cup experience. Here's what Marc-Andre Dumont did at the deadline, adding Joly. We've talked about him a lot tonight already, but Massimo Carosa, a couple of points in 5 games last year with the Quebec Remparts, and has had to make a big adjustment from playing top-line minutes for Philippe Boucher to coming over to Cape Breton and now being in a third-line role. But if you look at it in the big picture and you're Carosa, you're saying, wow, I'm going to get some better matchups playing on a third-line situation. I should be able to capitalize on that.
He's scoring like a first-liner, 9 points in 5 games since he's joined Cape Breton. Nathan Knoll. Down the left wing side is off wing. He's forced to circle the net. Duncan McIntyre ties him up in the corner, at least tries to. Second effort from Knoll, got that puck loose. Knoll gets it again, dealing with Gosselin this time. Zaboral a chance to shoot, and he narrowly missed. Belanger waved his stick at him. Svechnikov chasing after it. Zaboral keeps it in. There's Pavel Rosniak. Smallman heads to the front of the net, so does Pavel Rosniak. That shot hits McIntyre, and Svechnikov heads up the ice with Lazarev, and that initial pass was away from Lazarev, so he couldn't get much going. They'd been out there for a while anyway, and it was time for a change. Gosselin. Pierre-Luc Dubois. Martineau touches it ahead to Carosa. He's hit by Chabot as he gets to the St. John blue line. Carosa gets it again. Martineau looking for someone open. Hoyt was coming off the bench. It was read by Samuel Dub McFalls and broke up what appeared like it was going to be a good scoring chance for Cape Breton. Throws his pass to Martineau on his backhand. Off the side of the net. Turcotte had the short side covered anyway. Here's Peyton Hoyt, one of the top players to come out of New Brunswick in quite some time. A lot of expectations on the young player. Pass in front of the... Here's Hoyt. Oh, he's robbed by Turcotte. 2 great saves from Marc-Antoine Turcotte. And he's found his game to keep his Sea Dogs within 1. Michael Joly jumped the gun a bit. He's offside.
I go back to that first period, and it was that pad save, and I believe it was on Lazarev that really sparked this game because it looked like he was bobbling pucks earlier, but he has found it since. Here's a golden opportunity. Hoyt gets the second of those chances. Carosa with the first. And Turcotte slides across. He's still in position right there, trying to recover, gets back up to his knees, and stops Hoyt. 2 excellent save by Marc-Antoine Turcotte to keep this thing at 1-0.
Yeah, the game's 1-0. It could be 4-4.
Oh, yeah. Tons of scoring chances.
Shots are 14-12, and you'd have to think half of those for each team have been glorious scoring opportunities.
That's a bit of a coach's nightmare because you're trying to tell the kids, hey, you're giving up too many scoring chances, but then the players are saying, hey, it's only 1-0.
Jolie steals, gets it to Fiore. Turcotte stopped that. Fiore took another swipe at it. Couldn't get it. The puck was bouncing. Sea Dogs have defended that off. Now they'll try to get something going. Got anxious. Crowd's not going to like that. They're calling that icing. That was close.
Yeah, it looked like an international call to me. I mean, that was right on the line. Noel maybe a half a step behind it as you see Fiore head to the bench, and Fiore comes over from a Shawinigan team that was running gun, high-powered offense, and now gets the opportunity to play in a similar role here, although the systems do differ between Martin Bernard in Shawinigan and what Marc-Andre Dumont has here at Cape Breton.
Murphy is going to have to skate this puck out, and he does without any trouble. Smallman dumps it in. Murphy had a speed. He had a notion to go in after it. Wisely backs off because here come the Screaming Eagles. Sween gets a shot. Stopped by Turcotte. Puck goes up high and eventually out of play.
Well, there's Marc-Antoine Turcotte. We talked about having to emerge from the shadows of Samuel Montembeault and the Blainville-Boisbriand Armada. And Matt Murphy, who you mentioned at the top of the broadcast, is a guy that we've really grown up with, watching him from his days in Val-d'Or, move through the league to a couple of different stops. That big win with Halifax, has all the tools. Excellent skater, an amazing blistering shot, and a guy now who's started to accept leadership role and mature. And he's not a guy that I'd rule out being in the pro ranks at some point. It's just taken a little longer for his game to mature to that point, and I think he's close to it right now.
Puck kept in. Highmore got a shot. That was stopped by Belanger. He got enough of it. Svechnikov could only get as far as center ice. Levaille trying to get it back to Svechnikov. Here's Highmore stick handling with the stick of Svechnikov, making that difficult. Zaboral over to Shabbat. He looks up the ice. Svechnikov keeping a close eye on him too. That pass goes all the way into the Cape Breton end. Highmore stops it along the boards, trying to get it in front. There's some good eye-hand coordination by Pierre-Luc Dubois. Showing us a few things in this game. Had the gloves off earlier, showed some good eye-hand coordination. Now we're going to see some offense from him. We know he can produce that. Pass ahead to Del Pagio. He got a stick on it. It went right on goal to Belanger, and he wisely hangs on.
I think St. John feels like it can exploit Cape Breton on the back end, so they're starting to stretch the ice a little bit. And they've got guys with good speed and good hands, such as Del Pagio. You have the opportunity to do that. A guy who signed as a free agent back in July 2014, and you look at Del Pagio's career, 105 points in 51 games with the Thunder Bay North Stars. He got drafted into the USHL, not into the OHL, and St. John has traditionally done a good job getting players out of Ontario. Mike Hoffman, pretty good example. And so they're hoping to have similar success here with Del Pagio.
DeRosa tried to lift that up and over everybody. Same result, though. He did get it out. Clisson. Bank pass. Hoping that DeRosa or Martineau can get to it. Bernier takes a hard hit down there. Hoyt trying to follow up. This line, the so-called third line for Cape Breton's had a few chances to score. They've been all over the net. Another one gets to the goal. Turcotte held it long enough to get the whistle.
The St. John team starting to come into its own. And you look at this Cape Breton Screaming Eagles team. We talked to Marc-Andre Dumont a little bit yesterday in the hotel this morning at practice and said, we're one of the older teams in the league. And Michael Jolie hinted to Kyle that, hey, coach wants us to get to a cup. And with 11 players, 19 years old, that's something that definitely has to be in the minds of the entire organization.
In contrast, St. John has 3 19-year-olds in their lineup. Sween trying to power along the boards. Matt Murphy ensured that didn't happen. Gosselin holds the line, and then Sween throws a hard hit on Ward. He was slow to get up. Looks to be okay, though. Puck wrapped around. Here's Ward, a chance to play it. He made a good pass up to Doug McFalls. McIntyre He's hit by Doug McFalls. Got it to McSween. Murphy all the way down to the hash mark. Snapped that one near the short side. Belanger got his right arm on it, and Gosselin sends Cape Breton out to center. Declan Smith will roll this right on Turcotte, and he hangs on with McSween on the doorstep.
Now, this game has had great pace, but there's been some physical play as well, and McSween has Ward in his sights, catching him in what was a very close call that wasn't made. You see at the last second, he spins around and ends up taking that big hit just after the puck had been released. Good thing Ward is in position to defend himself, get back up under his own power.
It's slightly favoring St. John through the first 25 minutes of this game. Olivier Leblanc. Columbus pick to Levaille. He's spotted an open man. It's Fiore. There's a good pass to Jolie. Stick handling in. Jolie! Oh, another great move. Fiore follows up. How is Turcotte stopping the puck? Another great save for Marc-Antoine Turcotte. And Jolie, what a clinic. A stick handling clinic. Father Osniak, cross ice. Knowles shot. It's caught by Belanger. And he stops play.
This is a blast. The goalies are having a great time in this one. The coaches are going to go nuts when they go back and see the video. There's just been so many chances. Jolie, dipsy doodle, gets around Green, can't tuck it in. Fiore follows it up, and somehow Marc-Antoine Turcotte looks like he's down and out of the play. Fiore fanned on it, and Turcotte was able to have it hit him. And you know what? When you're playing well, you're feeling confident. Those pucks take you, and when you're not, those ones end up slipping in underneath you.
This is something else.
What a blast.
Scoring chances galore, and Belanger and Turcotte robbing the shooters. Svechnikov, he's knocked down. Quickly got it to Lazarev. This puck did come outside the line.
There's Zboril. Interesting story in last year that Don Sweeney, the Boston Bruins general manager, made a whole bunch of trades. Next thing you know, he had the 13th, 14th, and 15th overall picks, and they took Zboril with the 13th pick, went and took Jake DeBrusk with the 14th pick, and went off the board with Zach Senyshyn out of Sault Ste. Marie with the 15th pick. I can't remember the team having 3 consecutive first-round picks. That's what it was for Boston last year.
Sea Dogs in the Cape Breton zone, looking to tie this game. And scoring has been plentiful for both these clubs. Not in this game so far, though. Goalies have been too good. Del Paggio's pass couldn't get by the stickless Svechnikov, who hits to the bench for a change. Now some room for Del Paggio, and he's stopped again by Belanger. The goalies are stealing the show on Friday Night Hockey. Just the one goal early in the first.
Lennox makes the quietest system you can find. So even though it's the most powerful force in your home, it won't sound like it is.
Hi, Tom.
Hey, how's the college visit?
You remembered. It's good. Does it make the short list? You remember that too. Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Knowing our clients personally is what we do.
It's okay. This is what we've been planning for. Thanks.
Edward Jones is the big company that doesn't act that way.
Water is the driving force of all nature. It is pure, raw power. Power we need to respect. It has the potential to change lives. Because water can become more. We can turn water into clean energy and use it to power something truly special. You. OPG provides more than half the power Ontario relies on. So please, stay clear, stay safe.
Welcome back to Friday Night Hockey. Pleased to be joined by Screaming Eagles head coach Marc-Andre Dumont. Marc-Andre, we got a combined 36 shots, some grade A scoring chances between these two teams. It's very fun for us to watch. What is it like to coach in these kind of hockey games?
I think the two goalies are doing an amazing job keeping their teams in. There's a lot of skating out there. We just got to tighten up a bit more in our zone.
You were talking to us earlier about a lot of these guys on this team are what you call ice junkies. They want to stay on after practice, work on shooting, different type of skills. What does that mean for a coach to have a group of players that are so committed that way?
Makes my job easier. The guys want to improve. They want to get better every single time they're on the ice.
Coach, appreciate your time.
Thank you, Kyle.
Guys, 3 straight wins for Marc-Andre Dumont's team. 5th time they've won 3 or more this season. Longest winning streak is 4. They'd love to equal that tonight. Reginado moves the puck over to an open side. Here's Matt Green. He's hit hard by Felix Martineau. Peyton Hoyt's digging forward. Reginado's in there as well. Blanchman comes over. Winds up on the Sea Dogs stick. Reginado down to the corner. Now he throws a hit behind that Cape Breton net. Physical, hard-working shift for this line of the Sea Dogs. Luke Green confidently goes back with Hoyt right with him. Good skating young defenseman. Lost the puck, fell down, gets it back, and an odd man rush results. Blanchman, all he can do from there is send the puck in deep. Time for a change for a couple of the Sea Dogs. Luke Green again, moves it to an open side. LeBlanc quickly over there. Here's Carosa. Top of the circle, snaps a shot. Stopped by Turcotte. Martineau had the rebound for a moment, but Boleno took it away. Slides it up ahead. Doug McFalls couldn't handle. Here comes Cape Breton again. Jolie heads to the corner. What's he got in store for us now? Murphy just shoves him aside, takes the puck. It's iced by the Sea Dogs, so this face-off will come back to the St. John zone, and Jolie's going to stay out there.
Joe Young's a former scout with the Vancouver Canucks, took over the GM's job a couple of years ago, and he leaves no stones unturned. You look at the widespread places in which his players have come from. Quebec leading the way with 7, you got Nova Scotia, Newfoundland, Finland, the Czech Republic, a couple of guys from the States, Illinois, Florida. They come from all over the joint.